Mr. Speaker, my question is to the Minister for Social Development and Employment.
Order. I want to be able to hear the honourable member asking a question. Question number 10, the Honourable Sir Roger Douglas.
Speaker, the question is to the Minister for Social Development and Employment. Why, despite spending $160 million on the Youth Opportunities Package, has the unemployment rate for 15 to 19-year-olds increased since she became Minister?
The Honourable Paula Bennett.
Mr. Speaker, the $160 million for the Youth Opportunities Package was particularly aimed at 18 to 24-year-olds in particular. So job placements through Job Ops, Community Max, industry partnerships, Youth Guarantee were all for those that particularly were on the unemployment benefit, and that is aged at those more 18 to 24. And Mr. Speaker, it's clear that that has worked. So we have seen a decrease in those 18 to 24-year-olds on the unemployment benefit from a peak of 23,800 in January 10 to about 16,500 now in June. So we have seen that 18 to 24-year-old come down in the last 18 months, and it is due mainly to that sort of package that's gone in.
The Honourable Sir Roger Douglas.
Mr. Speaker, given that youth unemployment has hit the roof since youth rates were abolished, as is obvious in this chart here, which demonstrates when youth rates were abolished and how it's gone up, when will she act? When it goes through the roof or when it hits the sky?
The Honourable Paula Bennett.
Mr. Speaker, as I said to the member, we have been concentrating on those that have been 18 to 24. We would like to see 16 and 17-year-olds actually in educational training, and hence the attention we've given them. What the member might like to look at, though, is actually, and this is quite interesting, is that the unemployment rate for 16 and 17-year-olds from June 10 went from 28.5% to 33.6%. So for your 16 and 17-year-olds, we have seen a dramatic increase. However, 18 to 19-year-olds from June 10 to June 11 have been static at 20.7%. So there is most definitely a difference between those 16, 17-year-olds and the 18 and 19-year-olds.
The Honourable Sir Roger Douglas.
Mr. Speaker, could the Minister confirm that the reason she has not acted is because last week's national polling shows it's more popular to keep sitting on her hands than actually doing what's right?
The Honourable Paula Bennett.
Mr. Speaker, I shan't go to that member's level of personal sort of attacks. What I will say is that there has been a real focus on unemployed people in New Zealand. So we have seen that kind of we've seen that kind of work going on as far as those youth opportunities. You know, we're seeing 90% of those that have done a job ops program have not gone back on a benefit, and that is most certainly a step ahead.
Before I call the Honourable Sir Roger Douglas, can I say to I don't want to be unfair, but to the Labour front bench, I just wish you could see yourselves. That was so discourteous. The Honourable Sir Roger Douglas.
Mr. Speaker, given that the Minister appears unable to see the link between the abolition of youth rates and youth unemployment, as shown as this graph, could she advise, is this caused by the fact that she truly does not understand the link between the two, or by deliberate blindness?
The Honourable Paula Bennett.
Mr. Speaker, the answer to the two...
Point of order, the Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Far from it to be the one who protects the government. I think you have recently ruled out things as not being appropriate supplementary questions, which had far less assumption and a lot less irony in them than that did.
The point I'd make is I haven't actually ruled them out. I've let the Minister normally deal with them, but then if the questioner appeals to me for assistance, I normally point out the question was actually not in order. But I'd rather not deprive the Minister of the opportunity to utilise such a question. The Honourable Paula Bennett.
Mr. Speaker, this government has put a huge investment in working with those young people that are on the unemployment benefit and that really felt the effects of the global recession and actually a tight labour market. We are seeing positive results for that. We have fewer of the 18 to 24-year-olds on the unemployment benefit than we did 18 months ago. What we are doing is working. We now need to concentrate more on those 16 and 17-year-old NEETs, hence the weekends package. And as I say, we are cautiously cautiously optimistic.
Point of order, the Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Speaker, sort of far be it for me to relitigate in my current circumstances, sir. Yesterday you ruled out a question when there was a suggestion that a minister lacked confidence. In this case, you allowed you intervened on yourself. On this occasion, there was an intervention when a minister was accused of being deliberately blind or similar, and so you didn't intervene.
I'll hear the Honourable Simon Power.
Point of clarification, if the member's referring to his own interjection yesterday... Oh, I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
No, if I've done that, I apologise to the member if I've been inconsistent. I'll normally only rule out part of a question. If I recollect correctly, it may have only been part of a question, but I'll normally only do that if it is pretty highly offensive. Now, I didn't think that was too highly offensive. I mean, I'm allowed a question today. I didn't rule out a question today from the member's own leader where he suggested a minister was conning the public. I mean, I didn't rule that out yet. It's out of order, obviously, but I don't want to be intervening all the time. And so, unless it's highly offensive, I tend not to rule them out. A point of order, is it Catherine Delahunty?
I'd like to seek leave of the House to ask a question of the Honourable Sir Roger Douglas.
Leave is sought to ask a member a question to a member. Is there any objection? There is objection. Question number 11, Ian Lees Galloway.